Good evening and welcome to this edition of the Island Stats Cricket Show. I'm your host, Earl Baston. Joining me is co-host Andre Doc Manders. Well, Doc, it's been a kind of a rainy weekend. Some of the cricket was played today. No action in Central County yesterday. Of course, the Bermuda team was in action over in Uganda. As the day is coming to an end, the sun is shining bright now in Bermuda. So only 4 matches were actually played today or completed today. There was 3 in the Premier Division and 1 in the First Division. But let's first turn our attention, Doc, to the team over in Uganda, where Bermuda played Jersey earlier today. And Jersey would score 371 for 8 in their 50 overs, and then bowl Bermuda out for 80. We know that Bermuda have a very inexperienced team, have gotten some players who have some international experience, but it's just not enough right now.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we keep saying about the inexperience of the team, but there's a lot of things. So probably preparation and the availability of players too. Um, I've talked about this before. The board's got to get better, getting our best players out. There's no doubt about it. Um, you know, right now, like I said, with CO COVID Iran, of course, it's just hard for these players to get off. Without getting paid or getting some type of incentive for these guys to go. It's got to be. We need our best players to be going out there to play. You can't expect these guys to go out there and perform if they're not being played together. A lot of these guys that are playing now, that they haven't been playing together for a while. At least the previous tournaments, all these guys have been playing together. They know each other. They know where they're betting. They know where these guys build, and they're basically the together team. So to put this team together and then send them out there and expect them to perform, it's a little bit hard. Like I said, like we talked about last week, still, once somebody tried to come out there and perform, like they say, like, I'm a part of this national team. And so far, I haven't seen, anybody that's really stamped their authority. I know Kamal got some runs this game, but it's been very inconsistent on a lot of the players, like not making runs. So it's hard to see if you don't, we're just looking at the scoreboards. So we can't say if the biggest bid, one team scoring 300, and then we can, and then we can't even get 100. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like you said, it could be preparation, or could it be these guys' mental approach to the game? I don't know. But we still need our best. We still need our best players to be good on these.
Definitely. So what drastic changes have been made since we won the Americas tournament here, and we were such on a high, getting ready to go to the first half of this League B. We didn't have anywhere to train. There were a lot of things that were not put in place to help that momentum go on.
Yeah, I think so. And then again, it's the availability of the players too. I guess, training, making training effort, then being changed coaches. Not only coaches, I think they changed selection committee. There was a whole lot of things that were done. So right now, we have to get back. Look, that last team, they beat USA twice. And now look at USA now. They pumped a lot of money into that team. There's half of those guys, I should say, almost all getting paid. And USA, the ICC is pushing USA. Those guys are semi-professionals. I don't know where our money's gonna come from to make our players be semi-professional, but we have a lot of sponsors down there. Somebody needs to help these guys, to get them out. Because like I said, half of them got kids, half of them got jobs, and they need money. You know, I'm not saying like it's all right to travel, like get a trip, and then go to play cricket. But what happens when they come back? You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of the players now is thinking about that. But I'm sure, um, hopefully in the next fixture that comes up in national squad, I think it's in, like you said, after cup match.
Just after
Um,
cup match.
hopefully the bulk of the players come out, to make this team, because we definitely need our strongest teams going abroad, because it's not going to be easy, even if our strongest team, because a lot of the teams now are getting better and better.
Well, one of the things I think, one of the first things that needs to happen is identify a place where they could train on a regular, a training schedule that allows the players to have nights of training at a higher level, because if you go to national squad training, it should be a little bit higher intensity than your club.
Right.
So and you have to identify who's in charge, what's the program going to be, and then we have to do all this early. And one of the biggest mistakes that we keep making as administrators is holding the information to ourselves, and then by the time it's released, everybody's racing around trying to figure out, can I go, can I make
Yeah.
it, can I do this, can I do that. It's just and I know there's probably some people in the administration probably saying, oh, but we let the players know, but I tell you what, if you don't let the public know, how can you get help?
Yeah, it's true.
The public's
And
your
I
biggest
know,
supporter.
yeah, and I know that this particular tournament, it was pushed forward, it was pushed back because of the COVID situation, and because of
Hmm.
being in Uganda. A lot of the
Hmm.
teams had, you know different. I mean, everybody sent in, from what I heard, all the teams had sent in, like, information for traveling, like is the what time's good, and just to get out to the train too. Because it's preparation. A lot of the teams want to know if it's safe. First of all, you got to find out if it's safe. You know,
Yes.
and a couple months ago, it was stuff good happening in Uganda. So a lot of the players
Right.
down here was right away was saying, "Oh, I'm not getting Uganda." you know,
Right.
this is what I'm talking to some of the players. But
Right.
but since then, it's got looked better. But like I said, it's and it wasn't any Bermuda players that was looking. It was but all the teams are looking to see if it was safe to travel, to
Hmm.
Uganda. Um, but it's just real hard now, trying to organize teams to go. Um, with the COVID and other reasons, it's just
Right.
making it so difficult. But still, it still should be some type of preparation before. As
Mm.
soon as you find out when this tournament is, you need to be getting rid of it. There's a
Yeah.
national stadiums up there. Before that, you staying up there. It's so National Stadium is the ideal place because the field itself is nice and is big, first of all,
Hmm.
and the
Hmm.
ground itself for it's supposed to be a perfect field for cricket,
Right.
cricket and football, but they're taking on the nets and stuff. So that's one thing. I mean, they can't even train on BHS no more. So I don't know
Right.
where they train to now, but I think it's Barkley. But then again,
Mm.
if it's Barkley, if it's raining, nobody can do anything. So
Right.
I think you still need a multi-purpose training facility for the board. That's
Right.
been talked
But
about.
but in but in the meantime, I'm figuring they could utilize somewhere like Somerset Bridge.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
that's true.
you know what I mean? To get that the width and all that international cricket offers, we could kind of simulate that at White Field. All we have to do is look to say, okay, if Somerset Bridge are training on Tuesdays and Thursdays, then we get the wicket prepared on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Something of that nature. And if if it's a cost factor, I'm pretty sure that'll be much cheaper than the stadium if we can't work out something with the stadium. But I agree with you. The stadium would be ideal. The stadium would be ideal, centrally located. It offers you so many different things. You had the Berlin nets. That area is still available to just put up the nets and build over there. Or there's so many different things that could be done. But we have to make up our minds what we want to do. We can't keep beating around the bush, and then what happens? The players, this inexperienced group of players, are getting hammered because they're the ones that put their hands up to say they'll be a part of it. And it's unfortunate because if they didn't put their hands up, who else would put their hand up?
And it's most important that we go to these tournaments because you get, because that's how you get your money, going to these tournaments and winning and get as high as possible. Right now, we're getting down and down. And the further you go down, the less money you get. So we need to get back. It's very hard when we get back to like the World Cup and stuff like that.
Right.
We still need to get back to maybe playing in the A division, and because if you could beat the United States just a couple months ago, so how could we go from not beating United States and then can beat some of these teams that are out there? I'm not saying those teams that are playing against the East, because I know Hong Kong, Jersey, and all those teams now are getting stronger and stronger.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
And then of course Uganda and Kenya was always, Kenya was in the World Cup at times too. And
Right.
Uganda,
Right.
African country that's so over there that's basically playing against a lot of those top teams all the time. And we need, like I said, we still need to use the Caribbean for our resources too, because they're the closest to us. Getting some of those guys over there to play in some of the domestic leagues out there. They have a lot of tournaments going on, but that's what we need. The West Indies to help us out too.
Right. I noted in Barbados, an under 19 Barbados team is actually going on tour to Pakistan for 3 weeks. That's just the Barbados under 19 team. That's not the West Indies under 19 team.
Okay.
So they're offering these type of things in order for their players to become stronger. And then obviously they move into the national program, and then they move into the Barbados national program, and then move into the West Indies program. But they're offering these type of things, and Pakistan's willing to help them. So are we knocking on the door? Are we, if we're not getting help in our region, we're going to look other places. Here you have David Hamp coaching over in Pakistan's women's national team, but there's a voice there that could possibly lend a hand in getting us some matches, over there, and vice versa, bringing them here. I mean, we're going to try something. Something has to be tried, but it has to be a plan. You have to have a plan on where we're going to go, how long it's going to take us to go, because it's not going to happen overnight. Our biggest problem is we want instant success, but don't want to build to it to make it last long, and that's been a big problem here.
Yeah, that's so true, Earl. And I know after this tour is finished, it's going to be a lot of talk. It's going to be, I guess the board's going to have some meetings with the players, and they'll have to come up with a nice, feasible plan if they go after cup match. Because if you think about it, most of the players should be in shape, because they played 2 days of cup match. They've got a lot of cricket under their belt then. So there should be no excuse for them to I even forgot what tournaments after cup match, because they're coming up, so quickly now, and the board's gotta, like I said, make sure now that we get our best players out, man.
Definitely. Well, that should be happening right now. They should be contacting the players to find out who's available and having the plan set out as to how we're going to address making a few changes. When I say changes, I'm talking about the approach to the game, the training level to the game, the availability of players to the game, and that one big thing, the cost factor. Because, like you said, players right now, we're talking family, we're talking bills, we're talking all these other things. A lot of people look at sports in Bermuda as they look at professional sports. They look at them as these guys are professional, and they're not. They have to go to work like you do each and every day. It's just that they make a sacrifice in playing a sport that they're probably a little more exceptional than the next person. And then all of a sudden they're in the national program, but they still have all those other things that you have to do on a daily basis to make your family run, to make your household run.
Yeah, and then you have to be even the semi. It's often something. You can work out a plan. I mean, like each player that, let's say, I'm just gonna give you a ball figure. Like if these guys have got 3 games a year, the national team, why can they have like maybe $4,000 or $5,000 a year just for one player? And I mean, I'm saying like just for them when they travel. I mean, it does. I'm just working this out. It could be something cheap, but at least that money is theirs for them, and they have to use that wisely when they go. Like even when they come training. Like if you don't train about, you don't get your quota. You know what I mean?
Right.
They have to make some incentive for these guys to come training now because. A lot of them might have to work when it's training. You don't know. A lot of these guys on the practice got children, like I said, they got young kids, and money right now is the main thing. 'Cause like I said, the other teams are getting some financial money when they play for that national team. So why can't our players like? I'm just saying 4 or 5. It could be less, but what I'm saying is. You got to give them some incentive. Where the money's going to come from, that's another thing too. So your board's not got that money, but you got to start looking for sponsors, or you got to start doing something to get back at that level, because we can't keep doing a way like this and not have our best players.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have more this edition of the Island Stacks Cricket Show. We'll be right back.
Putting down the weapons.
You seeing this? We're featuring a range of remarkably effective household cleaning solutions made with ecologically sound ingredients and pleasing fragrances from Ecos, a company with over 50 years experience producing plant-powered cleaning products. The founder was a veteran chemist in the cleaning products industry and started up Ecos as a response to the harsh chemicals he had routinely encountered. Try Ecos non-abrasive cream cleanser, vinegar window cleaner, and in spray bottles, Orange Plus and Parsley Plus cleaners, shower and floor cleaners, furniture polish, and stain and odor remover. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
I'm also thankful and grateful because my greatest value of my life is my legacy.
But why I do it? I feel supposed to do it. I was put here to be here, to do what I'm doing right now. Once I see somebody moving, it's the greatest joy for me. There's a little person being born.
I am thankful that people have given me the trust for me to empower them, from my players to my family to friends. And that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that people have allowed me and trusted me to be in their life.
And welcome back. Well, Doc, on the local front, yesterday we were due to have Central County, but unfortunately the weather did not cooperate with Western Stars holding on to the trophy without a ball being bowled against North Village. But then in today's cricket, a mouth-watering event that we'd have seen between Bailey's Bay and Southampton Rangers. On paper, with the two teams the way they have been playing, Southampton Rangers were sent in to bat by Bailey's Bay, and they were bowled out for 83 on a wet track. We had rain yesterday, rain this morning, rain throughout the day, but again, right now the sun is shining. So they were all out for 83. Dion Stubble was the top scorer with 29, and Michael Agard was the pick of the Bailey's Bay bowlers. He bowled 5 overs, 1 maiden, 5 for 5. This is a young man from Barbados who has been in Bermuda for quite some time, living in Bermuda for quite some time. And Bailey's Bay has found a way to get him out, and they got him out, and he kind of ripped through some of the lower order of Southampton Rangers. And then in reply, Bailey's Bay had reached 40 for 2 in 7 overs without another ball being able to be bowled, and they were declared the winners on the Duckworth-Lewis method, with Courage Durham not out on 14 and their captain Karen Frey not out on 11. So Bailey's Bay picked up a vital win over Rangers. What's your thoughts?
That's I won't say it was an upset. Like I said, everybody's beating everybody. So like I said, maybe winning the toss probably won that game, because like you said, if they had a lot more that rain, the team batting first, of course the wicket's gonna be, it's still a little damp, moisture's in it. So I think Bailey's Bay took full advantage of that. And probably when they went to go in, it probably would dry it out a little bit more. So, sometimes the toss means a lot. I don't know who won the toss. Obviously,
Bailey's Bay won the toss. Bay won the toss. He's lost connection there for a minute.
Yeah. Like I said, the game still got to be played. So, I'm sure when they flipped the toss, all the players must have been looking up there. Why do you see he won the toss? But it's a good, like I said, it's a good result for Bailey's Bay. And like I said, it's gonna that Premier Division is gonna go right down to the wire. I could see it going on to almost the last game, because even though Rangers lost it, they're still not out of winning, at least winning the league or coming in, the top 2 or 3. So
right,
it's gonna be close. It's gonna be really close. And it's just fortunate that game was played though.
Yeah, there was another first division game, but we'll get to that at the Wellington Oval. But up at Somerset, where runs have been aplenty the first few weeks of the season, today St. George's Cricket Club were bowled out for 126, and then turned around and bowled Somerset out for 109. Okay, wicked then. Just a little more application needed, maybe.
It could have been. I don't know how that wicket was, because if you seen the scores up there, it was, most times it's like close to 500 runs have been scored. So obviously, that wicket there might have had some moisture dampness on it too. So, but it looks like St. George's got the upper hand on that, winning by what, 8? Not how many runs? 10
17
runs?
17 runs. 17.
Runs. So, that's that's a good result for St. George's, especially when you score 126, and then Building Somerset out for 109. So that's a good result from them.
Yeah. Finally, I guess, stopping that rot that they were in for a little bit. Even any way you can. Sometimes even the low scoring games are the ones that catch you going again. So
Yeah. Sometimes it's the hardest. That's the hardest runs to chase, especially if you keep losing early wickets.
Early wickets, yeah. And then at Lords and St. David's defeated Willowcotts by 29 runs, also in a match that was reduced to 30 overs per side. St. David's scored 139 for 6, and Willowcotts could only get 109 for 9. OJ Pitcher was the top scorer for St. David's with 27. Joseph Baisden bowled 6 overs, 4 for 16 for Willowcotts. And then in reply, Willowcotts with that 109. Antonio Darrell was the top scorer of 22. Derek Brangman was the pick of the St. David's bowler, 6 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 17. So St. David's quietly still on a little march there, picking up wins here and there, just like Bayless Bay, just like Rangers. They're quietly going about their business. Rangers edged them out a few weeks ago. They came back to win a game here and there. So, like you say, it's going to be tight. This is going to go down to the wire.
It's going to definitely go down to the wire. That's another good result for St. David's too. Just even playing that game, and getting points. So, right now, if you look at it, St. David's is in the driving seat because they're probably on top of the league right now with the wins they got. I think they're only
You've lost them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think St. David's only lost 1 game, right?
I believe so. To Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they beat Bay, they beat Willowcotts, they beat St. George's. They only lost to Rangers.
Yeah. So, but like I said, it's still a long way to go. Bayless Bay is still hanging in there too. So, and with everybody beating each other, so and it's a home and away, so they got each other again. So, like I said, it's gonna be an interesting season for that Premier Division. And
the
you
second half
can't
of the season.
exactly second half, but you can't say who's going to win. It's just that everybody's still that's in it. I think Somerset is struggling now because of the availability of players. And you can't even count out Willowcotts because Willowcotts is still hanging in there too.
Yeah. Again, despite them losing, they're always giving themselves a chance, to get a victory, but it just don't seem to materialize. But if they can grab a victory here and there, they'll put themselves out of that relegation battle that they're with Somerset right now. The unfortunate thing, I mean, like you say, Somerset are struggling for players, and that would have probably been another problem that they would have had today. Fielding. Just fielding a team is one thing, and then having a bit of quality there to get you over the line is what they've been struggling with.
Yeah, and you kind of feel sorry for them because this time last year and in the last couple of years, they was doing really well. With the availability of the players, they had enough players there to beat any team, it's just that this year here, they're really, really struggling. Not only that players that are away, but I think with players that are hurt, just can't make it for other reasons.
Yeah, well, they had 2 seasons of 2 master blasters to open their inning in Chris Douglas and Kamal Levrock, who were setting the tone for them to get big scores over the last 2 seasons, but with Chris back out now and Kamal away, they're struggling to even get a start. So, it's unfortunate for them. But, as you've indicated, when this tour is over, they should have some players back in availability for them to kind of pick up from.
Yeah, I hope so. Christian's having a quiet season so far. Jordan, I don't know what, I don't know if just came back off injury or what. Greg too. A lot of the leading players that were, it was doing well for me last couple of seasons have a very quiet season so far. But you got second half of the season, so
Right.
they
Yeah,
will
just
definitely
trying to
pick
do
up
one
some
of the-
points.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Yeah.
just started the second half of the season. They do have one makeup game, and that's against St. George's. I believe it's next Saturday down in St. George's. So we'll see what can happen with that one in
Yeah.
particular. So, yeah,
Yeah.
be interesting to see. So we're going to take another commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the First Division scores from this weekend. We'll be right back.
I'm also thankful and grateful because my greatest value of my life is my legacy.
But why I do it? I feel supposed to do it. I was put here to be here, to do what I'm doing right now. Once I see somebody moving, it's the greatest joy for me. There's a little person being born.
I am thankful that people have given me the trust, for me to empower them, from my players to my family to friends. And that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that people have allowed me and trusted me to be in their life.
Joker's putting down the weapons.
You seeing this?
Back in 1995, a pair of entrepreneurs working in their garage with essential oils began to realize the potential of organically produced body care products. Now, in a 56,000 square foot facility, EO products are shipping to millions worldwide, an inspiration to aspiring family businesses to be sure. EO products were the first in their field to follow the quality and safety guidelines established for organic foods in their production of high-end organic body care products. This month we're featuring EO Lemon Coconut Lotion. Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
And welcome back. Well, Doc, down at Wellington Oval, Somerset Bridge went down by 5 wickets to Cleveland County. Cleveland won the toss and elected to bowl. They bowled Somerset Bridge out for 60. The top scorer was Sean Riley, and Kushai Darrell was the pick of the Cleveland bowlers. 5.3 overs, 3 for 13, and Keith Worms bowled 6 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 20. And then in reply, Cleveland County scored 61 for 5, with Mackay Young the top scorer on 28. Noah Woods took 2 for 15 from 5 overs in that match. And then in the match at Devonshire Recreation Club, where Warwick won by 6 wickets on the Duckworth-Lewis system or method, Devonshire Rec scored 168 in a match that was reduced initially to 38 overs, and then after rain again, the match was reduced to 24 overs, with Warwick needing 108 to claim victory, and they got 108 for 4 with Devonshire Recreation Club. And Kerma Cannonair was the top scorer with 65 in their 168, and Jody Maroney bowled 8 overs, 2 maidens, 3 for 28, and Luke Horan bowled 5 overs, no maidens, 3 for 29. And then in reply, Warwick Workman's got 50 not out from Corey Burgess. The pick of the bowlers, Rudell Picture Bill, 5 overs, 2 for 18 for Devonshire Recreation Club. So let's go back to that Somerset Bridge Cleveland match. Low scoring, obviously. 60 runs, only 3 players in double figures. Sean Riley 17, Sean Parenchi 15, and Jason Smith 12. They were none for 1, none for 2, 5 for 3, 12 for 4, 14 for 4, and then they had a little stand of what was that? 35, because they were 6 for 49, 7 for 51, 8 for 60, 9 for 60, all out for 60 with a player injured. Looking at that, 60 runs. What's your thoughts?
Again, we talk about it. Obviously, it's got to be again the pitch. Maybe like I said, before the rain they hit, and then see sometimes it got to be application too. I know, like again, you say maybe the doors too. Once you get rain and the day before you're leading up and then when the game starts, it's always a good time to win the toss. But then again, it's got to be application from the batsman too, especially their top 4 or 5, to make sure that they stay in, to try not to lose no early wickets, because all you're doing is putting pressure on the other batsman coming in. But like I said, I don't know how that wicket played, so it's probably the best thing to do, Earl, is just try to fight it out, man. Bet the overs out. That is the main thing.
Well, let me ask you, Doc, as a batsman, how would you approach? Okay, so it would have rained Friday, it rained Saturday, so preparation of the pitch is not going to be at its best. It's probably going to play low because it's wet. How do you approach your batting on a strip that is going to be a little damp? Because as a batsman, you have to change your style just a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's just maybe a lot of things, Earl. First of all, it's a mental thing. You can't go for your shots too early and playing the ball late instead of going for those big drives or cuts and pulls. Because if you're staying low, or even if it's popping up a bit or coming off the pitch slow, you have to play the ball late. You play it underneath your eyes, especially the first 10 or 15 overs. And the main thing is, when it's like that, you have to bet the overs out. That's the main thing, because if you bet the overs out, gives you more time of score more runs, right? And then you put the pressure on the fielding team. But the fielding teams always got the advantage, because if you have another rain, at least they know what they got to get. With the Duckworth-Lewis system now, sometimes it doesn't matter. But you still, the betting team still has to try not to lose too much wickets. It's like betting the overs out. It looks like from all the games of these low-scoring games, it was always a lot of overs left.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes you can't attack like you normally do. It's like playing the ball late underneath your eyes, and then just wait till the ball pitches up more fuller, so you could go for the drive. Once it's more full, at least you could get your bat on it, and then you could score that way. But to cut and hook, and once the ball's playing 2 ways, up and low. Once if the wicket is low, and then if it's bouncing high, it's going to be difficult for players to play on that. So you have to try to graph. You got to make sure you stay at the wicket, and when they pitch up, and then you have to try to score. Sometimes that could be like 5 or 6 overs before you get one of that. One thing in Bermuda, you know that you always can get a bad ball. So that's the time you need to capitalize on it. This time, sometimes they might be getting a bad ball. This time, it might have stayed low. So when you go for that shot, it's not there. Or if the ball's, like I said, short, it might have popped up too. So that's the time, again, you still have to play the ball on its merit. I think the best thing, Earl, of playing on wickets like that there is wait till the ball's full and playing it late as possible.
Do you change your guard? If you're a center stump batsman or
Not,
two
not,
leg, do you change?
I think it depending if Hardy Burler's Burling, you would change your guard because that's not necessarily you would probably have to change it. I mean, if it's a left hand bowler or right arm bowler, then you might have to change your guard a bit. But the only thing is you just basically do the same thing, but your approach has got to be a lot different. Like I said, it's just betting those first 10, 15 overs is very important. Of course, you got to remember it's the overs is reduced anyway. So still, even if it's a 35 over game or whatever it is, it's still important that you bet the whole 35. You got to give yourself a chance. That's the only way you can give yourself a chance. It looks like all the teams that, other than St. George's, looks like the rest of the teams that all betted first, all lost.
Or lost, yeah.
Yeah, other than St. George's betted first and they won.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if Somerset would probably had a full strength team, that could have possibly been different too. But it's the thing is, like I said, once you get pitches like that or wet, or got moisture in it, like I said, it's a mental thing, and you have to just stay there and play the ball. You can't from ball one, you can't go there and try to play your shots. It's not gonna happen. I mean, it's probably good to probably bet a little deeper in your crease too, to give you time, give yourself more time to play the ball. Let the ball come to you too. That could be another thing, but I don't know about changing your guard. There's very things you could do to minimize the bowlers. So it's hard to say. Like I didn't know how those wickets were playing. It could have been bad shots these guys are getting out too. You never know.
Could be. Yeah, and then the other match, the Devonshire Rack Warwick match. Devonshire Rack, you had Warwick winning the toss and sending Devonshire Rack to bat. Having them at one point in time, Devonshire Rack they were 1 without loss, 2 for 10, 3 for 12, 3 they had a man injured, 4 for 65. So they were in trouble for a while, and then they had a mid-wicket stand. A fifth wicket stand of 29, almost 50 odd runs, 60 runs. Yeah, 60 runs. That's where Nkrumah and Kantaro Bean, Nkrumah scoring the 65 and Kantaro Bean scoring 30. But after that, the wickets started to fall again, and 168. Warwick have been quietly going about their business as well in the first division, and clearly with another win puts pressure on a team like Flats, who have been winning on a regular basis as well.
And of course, Flats didn't play. I mean, they didn't. Yeah. I don't know the reason why. I don't know who they were supposed to play, or they had a bye. I don't know.
They had a bye. It looks like Flats had a bye. Yeah.
So that works out in their favor though, because they had a bye. Some teams like it wouldn't benefit Stars because Stars match didn't play. They play at PHC.
Right.
And who else didn't? It looks like Stars game was the only
game that did not get played. Yeah.
In the first division. So
yeah,
I don't know really what the reason why they didn't play. Maybe it had to be the wicket. So I don't know. Who will get the points on that? You have to look at the umpires' reports on that. You know what I mean? Because they'll probably get there and say, look, maybe if the wicket wasn't prepared properly, because it ain't be no rescheduled games.
Right.
So and then maybe both teams might get a point. So I don't know, but that'll be something the board had to look into, looking at the officials, the umpires report.
Okay.
So
Actually, Flats, yes, that is correct. Flats was due to play yesterday, the under 19s, but their match didn't get played due to the wicket not being prepared or rain all day as well. So, yeah, Flats were due to play yesterday. I forgot the under 19s are in
under
that league too.
19s.
So, yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah,
thank you very much
yeah.
for that.
Just remember thanks for that because I just remember the under 19s do play. Yeah. So
And that
actually,
makes
even
it
though
an even.
bias, everybody plays,
Yeah,
each time. So
yeah, yeah. So,
yeah.
all right. Well, let's take another commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about Player of the Week for last week and who's in the running for the Player of the Week this week. We'll be right back.
Every month is snack month for us, it would seem, as long as they're the healthful, guilt-free, delectable snacks we crave. Enter the Daily Crave, a company whose first product was churros, the well-loved Spanish treat, followed by diversification in the form of classic puff snacks and chips. They ventured beyond the traditional list of ingredients. The grains are gone, replaced by lentils, pulses, and cassava, slaking our craving with a vegan-friendly, gluten-free snack that satisfies. This month, we're featuring the Daily Crave Quinoa Bourbon Barbecue Chips. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
I'm also thankful and grateful because my greatest value of my life is my legacy.
But why I do it? I feel supposed to do it. I was put here to be here, to do what I'm doing right now. Once I see somebody moving, it's the greatest joy for me. There's a little person being born.
I am thankful that people have given me the trust, for me to empower them, from my players to my family to friends. And that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that people have allowed me and trusted me to be in their life.
Focus putting down the weapons.
You seeing this?
And welcome back. Well, Doc, last week, due to a lack of information, we decided to hold off to announcing the player of the week, and it came down to three players, two from Southampton Rangers and one from St. David's. OJ Pitcher from St. David's scoring 163, and from Southampton Rangers, Dion Stubble, 93, and he took 2 for 20, and Gennaro Tucker, 92. And he also took 2 for 20. Both teams won their matches. But looking at the overall between the three, who would you lean toward being the player of the week?
Well, like I said, I was leaning between Dion and Gennaro. But you can't count out OJ as 163. That's a lot of runs scored. But I think with Gennaro and Dion's innings against St. George's, that to bring them out of trouble. I think one of those two should be this week's winner. And I was leaning towards Dion because of his application. Like he was out there for ball one. To give Rangers that start. But you can't count out Gennaro too because, Gennaro, they had a good partnership then. But if you look at it, both of them got wickets and both of them made runs. But I'm leaning towards Dion because he was the least, he got 93, and not only that, he started from the front and, gave him that start.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Dion Stubble was the player of the week for last week. And congratulations to Dion. Now, this week, we've had a few games, and let's just run through some of the top performers that we can look at, because obviously we've had results for the match between Bayless Bay and Southampton Rangers. You had Michael Agard for Bayless Bay, 5 overs, 1 maiden, 5 for 5. Dion Stovall, 3 overs, 2 for 10. He also scored 29 for Southampton Rangers, but that wasn't a losing cause. Down at St. David's, you had Joseph Baston with Billicott, 6 overs, 4 for 16. OJ Pitcher scoring 27. Derek Bringman bowling St. David's to victory with 6 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 17. In the first division, you had Nkrumah Kennenair scoring 65. His runs came over 64 balls. He hit 7 fours, 2 sixes. Jody Maroney from Workman's Club, he had 8 overs, 2 maidens, 3 for 28. And Luke Horan, 5 overs, no maidens, 3 for 29. Corey Burgess scored 50 not out for Warwick in their win, with Rudell Pitcher taking 2 for 18. And then down at Wellington Oval, you had Cleveland County recording a big win, a 5-wicket victory over Somerset Bridge. As we've already said, well, Keith Worms and Kushai Darrow both taking 3 wickets. Kushai with 5.3 overs, 3 for 13, and Worms 6 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 20. And then the final match. That was the final match. So if you look at it, Doc, not to persuade you or to be looking at those numbers, who give me 2 people that stand out.
The guy I got from Bayless Bay,
Okay.
and I would probably lean towards the guy from Warwick. Got Corey Burgess, got 50 something not out. But those 2 there, they was right on that team's victories.
Right. Well, clearly, 5 overs, 5 runs, 5 wickets,
Yeah.
leading, taking down a team like Southampton Rangers, who a week earlier, and we talked about it, you had to figure out how to get one of those 2 early, Gennaro and or Dion. Dion got 29, Gennaro got 2, and they managed to get them both out, under 30 runs. They combined for 31 runs, where last week their combination was 185 runs. So Agard he snapped up Gerald Simons, Michael Wellman, Teo Smith, Micah Jacobs, and Nairobi Mills. He took care of the tail end to help Bayless Bay, who already had Jordan Burgess had Dion out, bowled. Kyle Hutzel had 2 wickets. He had Janoy Oboy and Kwame Taka out. And Jordan Burgess had Alistair Lynch bowled, and with Mikhail Walker taking Gennaro, bowling him. So it would come down to the 2 that you've mentioned, Agard and Corey Burgess. Corey's knock would have seen him help Warwick. Yeah. I'm just going to quickly look at that scorecard, because Warwick were 1 for 19, 2 for 20, and then 3 for 47. And then he had a stand of 60, 53, 50, 57 with Akeem Ible, and Akeem only scored 14 of those runs.
Yeah. So it's like I said, I think one of those 2, because both perform, well, good. It's just that the little boy from Warwick, Corey Burgess, that probably enough that definitely got his team over the line. And the guy Agard, like I said, he cleaned up the tail end.
Mhm.
I mean, you can't go 5 for 5 is good figures, no matter who you're
Yes,
good at. But
that's right.
yeah, that's unbelievable figures. But like I said, it was early. It's probably the wicket too. I don't know how much how big the wicket was, but still, like I said, 5 for 5 is good figures. Anywhere
Yes.
one you are. So it'd be definitely be a toss up out of those two.
Yeah. Well, Corey faced 41 balls. He had 2 4s and 4 6s in his inning. Um, I'm leaning towards Corey Burgess because the inning carried Warwick across the line, and they needed to get the runs in 24 overs, and they got them actually in 19.1 overs. So I'm leaning towards Corey Burgess as the player of the week for this week.
Well, that's fine with me. And I was leaning the same thing because I think that was probably maybe one or two other guys. That was the only 50 and the Canada boy too.
Well, yeah, in the same game. In the
Same
same game.
So,
Yes.
but I think Corey's one was more valuable because his team, he got him across the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
So congratulations to Corey Burgess, this week's player of the week. Well, Doc, the national team are back in action tomorrow. I believe they have a match against Italy, which I believe is their final match, or one more after that. But they are in action tomorrow. Just going to confirm here. Yeah, they play Italy tomorrow. Yeah, which is their final match of the tournament. So they will finish up with Italy. Tomorrow. So good luck to the boys. Put in a good effort. That's all we can ask, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens after tomorrow, because clearly there's got to be some changes, and there's got to be some inclusion in when decisions are being made. And I think buy-in from everyone is going to be the key factor. Players, board, clubs, everyone. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it together.
Yeah, and like I said, I like the wish these guys got luck too, because and the thing about it, this is the last game. You want somebody to get 4 or 5 wickets. You want somebody to get a 50 or 100. And it'll be nice if they get a victory. They're playing Italy. Italy is probably struggling too. I don't know how many games they won, but it'd be nice if somebody goes out and perform on that tour to sort of, so they could put their foot, like you say, like, look, I've got 1 foot in the door for the next trip.
Yes.
I know Kamal's made 60 something the last game. But we need somebody else to put their hand up and say, look, I want to try to, keep my spot, and they've got one more chance. A victory tomorrow would be good.
Yeah, finish on the high.
Yeah, finish on the high. That'll be good for that inexperienced team. Will give them a lot of confidence.
Definitely. Well, mate, enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll be back with another edition of the Island Stats Cricket Show next week, Sunday at 7 p.m. Enjoy your night, boss.
Oh, you too.
All right.